everybody, this is Mike Balzano once again with Trade Talks Unlocking the Experience. This is episode 10, and man, do we have a good guest today. I'm so excited about this guest. She is a serial business owner and a serial entrepreneur. She's a Nittany Lion, a speaker, a writer, a restorer. She's a teacher. She's a podcaster. She's an Arena Football League team owner. And you know we're going to talk about that. She's an ICRC master, a fire, water, and textile restorer. She's a leader. And you know what? She is the Swiss Army knife of our industry, I think. I came up with that last night. Please welcome Lisa Lavender.
Wow, Michael, I'm blushing. Yeah, I don't own a football team anymore, but about 7 years. So
you're the only person I've ever met that could say that. So yeah, we'll talk about restoration, sure, but let's talk about the arena football. No, this is cool. Well, welcome and thanks for taking some time.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Usually we talk about, we get to know the guests a little bit so that people know the key players in the experience, but I'm going to open up this time, break protocol a bit and get some breaking news, which is you, young lady, are going to be along with Mr. Barry Costa in charge of what was formerly called the Flood House. And now we're going to be calling it the Restoration Pavilion.
Yes, that's right.
What now? We were so thrilled that you said yes to come aboard. We definitely had a big hole there to fill to try to get some professionalism and make sure we keep that going. And well, why, first of all, it was your idea to change the name too. What was behind that?
Well, at the Restoration Technical Institute, we have a flood house, and we've struggled with that for years because, it kind of leads us to believe we're only dealing with water and we're only flooding it. And so we've talked about even how to refer to it in a different name that resonates with everybody, that it's, yes, there will be water. So I don't want anybody to be like, I'm not going to the restoration. So we're going to be flooding and water and doing some really cool hands-on and demonstrations, and lots of industry experts there to share some of their knowledge and spark innovative ways on approaching different scenarios. So that is not going anywhere, but it's about restoration and the sciences and the demonstrations in general. So we have Anissa Coy, many of the are in our audience. She's going to do some really cool things with structure cleaning, for example, and contents, but that's not necessarily flood. So we just wanted to give it a name that's more encompassing, but we also wanted to have synergy with the cleaning pavilion so that we can all kind of come together in harmony and get some consistency going and get some good things going back and forth between both pavilions.
I think that was brilliant. And you brought that up to me. I go, yeah, that makes too much sense to say no to that. We're going to do that because the cleaning pavilion, the restoration pavilion, it goes through the entire process from cleaning to restoring to remediating if we need be, and it makes sense. So yeah, and Anissa is a part of that, which is great. The other big news is we just organically put together something called our advisory committee, and we're going to hope to carry that on for a long time. Lisa's going to be a part of that, as well as Mr. Costa, of course. On the other side, Sean Bission and Anissa Coy and Kevin, Mark Kennedy and Lisa Wagner, and of course me and Andrea from the show too. So we're all as I've said a few times on these shows, a lot of people wonder, we don't know who BNP Media is. We don't know this goofy Mike guy who keeps making these jokes. But don't worry about us. We got all the experts in the industry. They're going to take care of this, which is good. So thank you for being a part of that as well.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for putting it together.
And one final piece of if I switch over to my R&R hat real quick. You've been a contributor to R&R and on all the trades for a long time, really. But we're so excited to announce, but last month, the launching of your new video series with us, Unlocking Training Success. I think we're doing that. Is it twice a month?
Yeah,
once a month.
Hopefully. As fast as I can make them. I have lots of ideas to share. So
I'm going to ask you why you did it. But I know training is such a big deal right now, man. It's so important.
Yeah.
What was the thought there?
So I've been in the training side of our industry since the beginning. I mean, when you enter this industry, whether you're a trainee or when you're growing a company, you're always training, whether it's a formal business or not. So really, since 2000, I've been involved in training in different ways and developing programs. So in 2012, we officially opened the Restoration Technical Institute, but and then during COVID, we added another slew of providing digital access and e-learning and some really cool, a whole platform that combines technology with the educational components, interactions, and really neat stuff. But one of the things I was really seeking is for part two of my focus on training was to really, I've been like pondering this for years, is how do we improve the ROI? How do we get more durable results? Because any individual training intervention is just a moment. And so I kind of sought out and started reading, and I came upon a book and a methodology. Don't make me say that again, Michael.
That was
And
good. That was
that
okay.
really resonated with me. And it's HPLJ, which stands for High Performance Learning Journey. So I actually enrolled myself and got certified in that. And it's an engineered approach. And the developer and the team there, they're like my workplace training heroes. And of course, they've studied industries for over 40 years and developed and identify barriers and ways to drastically improve the return on our investment. And that's not just dollars, that's the efforts. And it's not just, and what that means. And so I was able to take all that and connect it specifically to our industry, our programs, and I'm just excited to share tools and tips and everything so that we can better engage, help people grow, have less pain in training and implementations and, being strategic, because training isn't just about how to do a water loss. That's part of it. It's bigger than that. It's our ability to effectively train is our ability to pivot, implement new strategies, employ new technology, software, equipment. It's all encompassing. And it also is about the culture in our company and engaging them. So I'm just super excited that you guys allowed me to launch this series, that I can get these quick, because I also know as a restorer, everything has to be fast. Sometimes I kind of developed this saying, which this is the first time I said it publicly: fast, easy, cheap, and delicious. Like that.
I had a Chris sandwich today from Burger King. It sounded like that, but go ahead on a side.
Yeah, it works for so many things. Right. So yeah, so fast, easy, cheap, delicious training tips. Maybe that'll be the new title of it.
I like it, and I'm going to read that book for sure. I'm on your recommendation. I think training, it's as we get leaner and leaner in all business, not just our industry. It seems like that is what's fallen on the wayside. We don't have the bodies to do this and bodies to do that. I remember we brought on. I feel bad. We brought on a new editor last year, and I was Mike, you get trained. I've been in sales for my whole life. What do you really? So luckily, there's other people in the company to pull in, but that is something that needs to be beefed up in every industry, I think. So that's great. And we appreciate you doing it for us too. That's perfect.
Yeah, I'm excited. Thank you.
Hey, are you a lifelong Pennsylvania resident?
No, I was born in Paterson, New Jersey.
Uh-huh.
People say they can hear my twang when they come here, because we get a lot of people from Jersey. And but I've lived here since I was 9, 10 years old. So I'm pretty much a full-time.
Let me tell you, I'm interrupting you on there. Not to, as a Midwesterner, that's the same thing. Come on.
Yeah.
Atlantic City and Jersey, South Jersey, and come on.
That's right. That's
joking.
right.
I know. No, but I know you went to Penn State. That's what I was starting with, and you studied accounting, which is great. And what was the bridge outside of that to get you into our industry in such a big way?
Well, it was funny because, life just kind of goes in whatever direction. You don't really know why it's all happening. But my father retired. He was a insurance professional his whole life, corporate, very passionate insurance underwriter. If you don't know what underwriters do, I have training for that too. And but my joke is, instead of reading bedtime stories, he was reading the insurance policies. He was just such a passionate professional. He retired as senior vice president of product management of Prudential, and then came and helped us out as we were going. But my whole life, I've just known policy language, exclusions, severities, underwriting principles from my dad. So fast forward, I ended up marrying a claims adjuster who grew up in construction. My husband Ted, who's also my business partner,
Mhm.
is one of these people who can fix anything. All my first cars were two cars bought at the salvage yard with salvage tiles that he put together. So, and that was actually some of our first fleet vehicles were those same vehicles. So fast forward, he spent about 10 years in the insurance industry on the claim side, and he progressed into management positions. And in 2000, his division was eliminated, and I was pregnant with my second child.
Mhm.
And so we would have had to relocate. He had some opportunities, and he just walked up to me and said, I don't want to do that anymore. And I said, okay, well, we have a baby and another one coming, and
Good timing, right?
like a mortgage. And he said, I want to start a restoration company. And I said, what's a restoration company?
Mhm.
And the rest is history.
There you go. Then okay, that's been Lisa Lavender, everybody. Thanks. No, we're good. No, but I mean, look, you both were successful. I love hearing stories about people who want to. I mean, didn't want to follow his passion, maybe, but he definitely want. You know what? Life's too short. I'm gonna go do something I want to do. And he had a
Yeah,
very, very talented wife and partner, and
yeah.
that's a good story too. I'll tell you. And I said at the outset, you're a serial business owner. Man, you got a lot of stuff going on. And it started with the first one was Burke's, right? Fire water restoration.
Yeah, Berks Firewater in 2000. I will say I've gotten much more entrepreneurial over the years, but when we started, I was, and I still am like very operational. So I'm
Right.
probably the person behind the entrepreneur that I think is important for everybody. I definitely have gotten more adventurous in my old age, but my husband's more the risk taker, which brings us. I actually have a funny story if you want to hear about
I
fast forward to
insist.
2006.
Yes.
So, so Berk's Firewater is growing, and I actually, 3 years, we had very rapid growth in the beginning, and that's where I became, and the story of even the training part and where my passion came from is me going to my husband, like, because I'm seeing all this and I wanted it to be proceduralized and systematic, and it was chaos. And so that I knew was my role. He was the one doing the losses and writing estimates and running all over the place, and I didn't know it. I didn't even understand what we were doing, and I went into him and yelled at him like, you need to help me. This is business. Like, there's all these people and things that I don't even know what it is. I'm like doing
Right.
accounting and processing stuff, and he looked up at me in kind of a jerky tone and went, go learn it. And so I stumped out and like called him some names under my breath and went to my office, and I'm like that jerk. And I picked up my phone, started researching. And that was my first, he's still my hero to this day. I tracked down somehow Ron Valega, and I said, I need you
Mhm.
to come here and teach me water. And he did.
Yeah.
And then I became addicted. I was just, and I kept going.
I can tell you from working with you hand in hand for a month now. We've worked together a little bit through the last couple of years, but really on this project. No, you grab the bull by the horns, you take ownership, and you go. And that is probably Ted's evil strategy in that. I'm going to say this.
It
I
was.
know
He
she
knew
can't
he'd
say
get
no.
me
She needs you
going.
to go, right? And I love it.
It's like, go figure it out.
Yeah.
So I did, and it was really, first of all, it just, going through my own training experience, and you never stop learning in this industry. I mean, I'm
Right.
always learning. But it helped me even in the operation side and allowed me to grow professionally. But then I also realized and became very passionate how important it is for everybody who enters this industry to have those opportunities. And part of it is learning, and it's not just the learning the technicals, it's understanding and connecting with the deeper purpose of what we're doing.
Right.
And when you go through training, you start to understand. And Ron, I think I even wrote an article about Ron because he left me some really great, just like values and things that make me smile to this day. And that goes back, I mean, my goodness, that may have been 2003 or something when that's, but you know, one of his great lines is, "We're not just poop suckers," you know? He's like,
Yeah.
so, and you know, I think for people to realize with how much goes into doing what we do and really connecting with that pride, and training helps us do that, and
Mhm.
allows people to grow and be really committed to our companies and also the career that they have in restoration and cleaning.
Yep. I think that's brilliant, and I love hearing stories like that. I was talking to the super tech guys last week, and this topic came up out of nowhere. And I said, no one really, no one, there's no real new things. You just, the people, like back to Tony Robbins. Everybody knows who Tony Robbins is. He's made $1 gazillion. He didn't really invent
Yeah.
anything. And what he did do was go back to all these leaders and smart people who figure out how to do it. And he just kind of compiled that into one thing. And that's,
Mhm.
I don't know why more of us don't do that. Let's
Mhm.
talk to the people who've done it and who are professionals and are great at it. Just copy what they did. They'll be very flattered and you'll do well. And you clearly are in that school of thought too.
Oh, absolutely. And Ron, I remember part of his story was he was doing horrible. His company was going down the tubes. And he goes, "So I go find people who are doing worse than me."
Yeah.
to, and he woke up one day and he's like, "Wait a second, I'm going to reach out to someone who's successful." And so he reached out and they were more than happy to help him. And, you know, one of his lessons is successful people who are doing well love to help other people
Yes.
grow and do well. And so if anybody's down on anything, find somebody. There's lots of wonderful people in our industry that are there to truly help others enjoy it.
And you're not alone. So
They're
many
not
times we
alone.
think, and I have that feeling too. We're doing the experience load came at us this year, and like, oh man, but no, everybody wants to help. People want it, like you
Yes,
say, people want to help. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be too proud to ask for help, and
right.
people love to do it.
Absolutely.
Well, and you're rolling along with your first company, and you said, "What the hell? Let's buy an arena football league team."
Well, not quite.
All right.
And you know, I actually pulled some art stuff out of the archive for you, Michael, because honestly,
Yes.
I don't know that anybody has ever asked me to talk about it,
Oh yeah,
except
I love
you
it.
were like right on that. I don't even know how you found that out about me. I don't think it's even on my profile, but you know, it's one of those experiences that I learned and took so much out of that I use in restoration. I actually joke now, everything's like a restoration job. But what the story was is we were actually, I remember, because it's one of these traumatizing things where, you know, you and your business partner, who also is your spouse, that you're like, you did what? So it kind of started out, we were launching and had a new continuing ed course for insurance professionals coming out. And I had my hands full as usual, because my hands are always full.
Right.
And he's calling me and saying, "Oh, I just talked to our attorney. You know, there's a professional football team that started last year, and they want to get out of it. And, you know, he thinks we should buy it." And I was like, "Are you nuts?" No. And I was just like, I have my hands full. I can't even talk about this. Well, I don't even know what happened over the next 3 or 4 days, but Thursday night, close of business day, I owned a football team, 50% with him, and found out we had a game on Saturday. I didn't even at the arena in the city.
Right.
And I don't know that anybody in the area even knew that there was a game.
Right.
And
Right.
so, yeah, that was that was it was a 1 year old team. So I just like went in, I would go you know, again, restorers, you just go. So like, you know, I made a flyer, contacted everyone I knew and say, "Hey, Ray, we're having a football game downtown at the arena, and I don't think anyone knows about it." Spread the words. And my friends, I remember we literally got in a van with bullhorns and drove down populated areas and just were like on megaphones telling everybody about the game.
That's what entrepreneurs do, though, right? That's exact. Their first thought was like, okay, I bought the team. I'll get to go to my luxurious owner's suite. And you probably realize, well, that doesn't really exist. Okay. But it's
I
okay.
had no idea how to run a football team. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not even a football fan. I mean, I had to research to understand the dynamics. And then, but you know, one of the things is the whole thing taught me, it gave me so much more confidence, because on the outside, it's like I'm like, I can't do this. And but you can do anything. So the whole thing gave me a lot more confidence in that. To your point, when you put your mind to something and you're resourceful, you can figure things out.
Right.
And there's mechanics of things that, are universal, that
Yeah, you took some, I'm sure you took things away from that experience that you didn't think you would for your business, your future business.
lots of things.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Which you go back to all the things you're doing. I mean, people know about Berks, of course, and Restoration and Technical Institute. That's what I know you for, and that's been
Yes.
going on for since 2012, along with iRestore software. And
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody watching this knows you from that. You don't have to go on too long, but explain a little bit of what you do with that besides own it.
So, well, I do a little of everything for our Restoration Technical Institute and iRestore. So I get involved because I'm passionate about building the tools and making resources. So everything from developing interfaces, I work with customers on implementations, work with the developers. On RTI, I do everything from curriculum development to we're collaborating with lots of trainers, instructors. So I develop, I execute, I love making tools,
Mhm.
whether they're a job aid, a course, and, that part. So that's really my passion, is to just make stuff that helps us all succeed in the day to day. I try to stay really in tune from people I work with at other restorers, but I also draw so much inspiration from Berkshire Water because I'm seeing it. And I'm
Right.
like, okay, here's the pain point, here's the problem, here's the gap, whether it's an operational gap or a training gap, I can see it. And then I have, these two great companies that can come together and help fill those gaps and solve those pain points for people.
Sure. No, it's good. Well, everybody, I mean, you can't go anywhere online or anywhere without seeing the name Lisa Lavender these days. Many of the sites are everything. So we know that. So we're excited you're going to be with us and you joined our team and starting in Chattanooga. It's going to be April 3rd through the 5th, the next experience, Chattanooga Convention Center, lovely Chattanooga, Tennessee. And we can't wait. Right now we've still got plenty of space to get in. Booths are available, sponsorships are available with the sales team. Everything's great. I'm so proud of the agenda that we had built all together. The agenda for the Restoration Pavilion is coming together. The Pavilion, of course, the regular agenda is done. I urge everybody to please go to
Yes,
rnronline.com and check it out because it's pretty powerful. The people are going to be there, going to be is really surprised at the great education they get here. So, and
absolutely.
it's an experience. We're going to have fun. We're going to have a lot
It
of
is an
stories coming.
experience.
When
Absolutely. Please come on out. I hope to see everybody out there.
when was it? Do you remember the first time you went to the experience?
I saw that, and it's all a blur because 24
Yep.
years it's a blur. And keep in mind, I work closely with Chuck Boutal. For those of
Yep.
you who know him, he's been involved in the experience, I think, almost probably since it started. And
Yeah.
so, and if you know Chuck, he's good at telling stories. And some of you may be even laughing at that. But so I don't even know which experiences I experienced or experienced via Chuck's stories of the experience. So
Right.
I don't want to be a story stealer, but
You had to have some
but
fun things to remember. Everybody's got some silly things they remember from these, or great,
oh,
not just silly. Go ahead. I should say that.
absolutely. Well, one of the one memory that stood out because, and I actually wrote in our article, you're new to I have 120 articles, but one of
Right.
them, me and Chuck, it was like something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue, and it was, restoration style. But one of the things we did, and we kind of did a recap of some of the exhibits we visited at the booth and some of the takeaways and things. But one of them, which just kind of cracked us up, but it was a takeaway and we had a lot of fun with it, was there was an amazing skin product that got rid of our wrinkles. And so me and so Chuck is white, and they even
Oh,
got me a set. So yeah, it was kind of a silly thing that was a memory, but we did have a lot of fun with the wrinkle cream. I even
there,
wrote about it.
yeah, we got some. I remember last year, my first experience with the experience, working with Jennifer a lot on the exhibitors and whatnot. We had some interesting. I really shouldn't say this, but I can't. I have no filter, so I'm going to say somebody one exhibitor Kiwi exhibit. We have it was a slender, long thing, and it's a back massager. And Jennifer, like, we know what you're. No, you can't sell those. What are you doing? Stop.
Well, moral of the story, there's something for everyone, Michael.
Sorry, everybody.
So
This is
there's
R-rated.
wrinkle cream, there's
Yeah.
equipment, tools, products. I love going to the booths, and you learn about the new products, but it's also the people, the exhibitors themselves. They're so knowledgeable and passionate.
Right.
And
Yeah.
being there with them, gets you excited and just opens your mind. It's not, you may or may not take away buy something, but you're bringing things back to put on your list, your wish list, even that you may consider over the years, and just learn different perspectives from different people, even in the exhibit hall.
The amount of hands-on experience you'll get at these experiences is unprecedented. And I first time I heard that, I thought, well, like many people, I'm sure, let me see. And yeah, it's for real. It's legit.
Yeah.
And we're all excited about all of the experiences. And I've said many times, he didn't name this accidentally. That he wanted to be an encompassing experience for people to come and enjoy themselves and learn. And I think, and we want to carry on the torch with that. And yet, believe me, you're a huge part of that.
Oh, thank you. I feel like a little part, but I'm glad to be a little part of it. And, the team you've assembled is great to work with, and very inspiring, it gets you so excited to, do cool things, bring people together, have fun. That's the thing, is what makes it like there's so much information and things that are accessible and stuff going on. And I was just talking to actually Anissa about the pavilion and stuff, and it's kind of like she made comment, and I liked how she said it. She's like, it's like a family coming together as an industry, as a family. So we're learning without the distractions of our day to day, but inspiring each other, the energy, camaraderie, and I mean the specifics of the presentations and the agenda you put together, and then you add in the cleaning and restoration pavilion. There's so many great takeaways, but it's about the environment that those takeaways are coming in, that we can bring things back. It's almost like a rest and recharge while you work, right?
Yeah, it's exactly right. And Barry was one of the first people on this show. He was my second guest, actually. And Barry Costa said, I'm gonna go through the whole story again, but it was just a pretty personal story about losing someone. And he came to the experience, and they kind of helped him heal. And he realized, this is my family too.
Aww.
And I don't want to miss seeing my family. And I thought that kind of changed my attitude after that. I'm like, you know what? That is what this is, isn't it? We're all one big community trying to help each other. So,
and this is a time too, Mike, with you. I know you're newer to running the experience, but that's what it's about. I mean, you can speak to the fact that you're new to it, and you feel like you've been enveloped into all kinds of people in the industry who are like, let's make this amazing. And so, that's a message to people who haven't been there yet, or don't know what it's like, or don't know. Come out and check it out. And, join that experience, family building,
I am a I'm a wide-eyed little kid in this industry. I know so much more than I did 2 years ago, but I want to learn from experts like you, as all the attendees are as well. They're coming to talk to the experts, and it's going to be great. Again, it's going to be April 3rd through the 5th. I think this is a good time to say, please make plans to attend the experience on April 3rd to the 5th in lovely Chattanooga. You register through our website, rnrmagonline.com. You can find this and all R&R videos and podcasts on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify. Please follow us if you haven't already, and please feel free to leave a quick review. And also, please follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. Very special thank you to our guest, the one and only Lisa Lavender. This is Trade Talks, Unlocking the Experience. Thank you for joining us. We look forward to seeing you again next week. Thanks.
Thank you, Michael.